Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Alrighty. So this is going to be a quick, well, actually not a quick video because we will be going through multiple charts, but hopefully we won't be spending too much time on each chart. So the goal of today's video is to essentially answer the question at the back of everyone's mind, which is, hey, is the bull market over? Should we be booking profits and going on vacation? So at the end of this video, you're going to have a good idea of how to move forward. And again, we're not going to be spending too much time on any specific chart, any specific coin. As such, there won't be any specific trade discussed. We may touch a little bit on one of our existing trades, but for the most part, the goal of the video is to ease everyone's tensions and give them a proper direction moving forward. So we're going to be going through the Mango dashboard. We're going to be going through Bitcoin on the higher time frames, Altcoin market cap, and a couple of other charts that will give us direction. Okay, we're going to start with the Mango dashboard right over here. And since we're not going to be looking at any specific coin, I want you guys to draw your attention to the top right hand corner right over here. All right, we're going to be looking at market-wide trend and market-wide volatility. I'm deliberately starting with the mid time frames. We're going to go through the higher time frames and then cycle back down to the lower time frames. Okay, you'll get an idea as to why I do that way. So mid time frames, trend is neutral, right? The daily is neutral and the volatility is not too high, but enough to be like, okay, it's red. If it comes down a tad bit more, we will be moving into the orange territory. If it goes up higher, that's a bit of concern where the neutral trend may actually break down to a short trend, right? So let's keep an eye on this. The 2-day time frame, pretty much the same story, right? Neutral and red, but 65, not too bad. What does the higher time frame say? Remember, guys, the higher time frames are our 4-day and our weekly time frame. That gives us a better idea of how the higher time frame trend and volatility will be doing. The 4-day is still long, and the volatility is still pretty good. It's orange, right? Market-wide volatility sitting smack in the center at 50. So I like the 4-day. I like the look of the 4-day. And what's the weekly saying? Weekly is long, and the market-wide volatility is low. We're sitting in blue conditions over here. So really good structure on the trend and volatility on the 4-day and the weekly, right? So essentially what the daily and the 2-day are telling us is that they might be giving us a pullback opportunity on the 4-day and the weekly. If you look across your charts, right, if you go and find opportunities and you look at them, you're going to be like, hey, is this giving me a buy opportunity on the 4-day? Is this giving me a buy opportunity on the weekly? You're going to find lots of opportunities on many coins on the dashboard over here, right? So it's time to hunt for opportunities. But the question is, what's the lower time frame trend saying, lower time frame momentum saying? Because yes, we do know that the mid time frames might be giving us opportunity on higher time frame trend support, but are the lower time frames reacting to that higher time frame trend support? So that's where we switch on over to the 4-hour and our 12-hour, and we're going to be looking to see whether the 4-hour and the 12-hour are currently going in a short trend. Because if it's going in a short trend, it's saying that, hey, they haven't started reacting to higher time frame support yet, right? But if it's the opposite, if they are on a long trend, then we know that, hey, maybe they're reacting well to higher time frame support. Okay, I'm just showing you guys how I'm thinking about all of these things at the back of my head. So now we're going to go ahead, switch on to the 4-hour, and the 4 hours long. Volatility is not too bad either, right? It's red, yes, but it's closer to the 50 region than to the 100 region. So 63, not bad. What's the 12-hour saying? 12-hour long too. Volatility is a bit high though, so this is a bit of a concern that you may need to go and look for individual coins that might be giving opportunities with lower volatility, or just look at the charts to see whether you're sitting at higher time frame or mid time frame resistance, right? So overall though, the structure, the volatility structure and trend structure across the time frames is telling us that the higher time frame trend is still intact. The mid time frame might be pulling back into the higher time frame trend, and the lower time frames might be reacting to that higher time frame trend support. So that's the read I'm getting from this. Okay, now we're going to go look at Bitcoin on the weekly. This is a classic chart from 2022 December. Nothing nothing surprising here, right? Things are going according to the plan. What was our plan? Our plan was to play the equilibrium trade from 16K all the way to the top of the cloud, where we're going to be looking for that 0.786 level to be our rejection level, right? I've gone ahead and marked it out in red over here, right? And you guys can see that over here too. In 2019, red, where we saw Bitcoin go all the way up to 0.786, top of the cloud, and then break back into the cloud. We don't get bullish until the cloud flips green. That was our thesis. We're going to be looking for the top of the cloud region to essentially act as our resistance level as long as the cloud is red, right? 2019, cloud was red, smacked up against the top of the cloud, where 0.786, broke back down. What happened in the previous cycle? Same story. Top of the cloud, saw resistance. Where did we see resistance? 0.786. We came back down. But we did eventually see Bitcoin break and go on its parabolic run. When did that happen? Only when the cloud flipped green. Remember, the cloud is forward placed, right? So it starts drawing 30 bars ahead of time. And you'll see that unlike this region over here, the cloud had flipped green on this pullback. So that pullback was a buy opportunity. This pullback over here, not so much. You could have been looking for the buy at the bottom of the cloud, but it was only when the cloud flipped green that you want to be buying pullbacks into the middle of the cloud, right? Cloud is a lot thinner over here too, so still easier to play. But again, keep it simple. If the cloud is on green, do not get overly bullish, do not get overly excited. I've been saying that throughout these few weeks over here, that hey, yes, things are exciting, but I'm going to temper my emotions over here because cloud is not green yet, and it will flip green. We just gotta be patient. And if there are any structural updates to this trade, I will keep you guys posted. So make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification icon, so that way you guys don't miss the next big trade on Bitcoin when it presents itself. So again, until the cloud flips green, we do not get too excited. We look for opportunity elsewhere. We look for opportunity maybe in the altcoins. Speaking of which, how the altcoins are doing? This is the chart that we were tracking to get an idea of how aggressive the altcoins will be trending, right? This is essentially total market cap excluding Bitcoin, which gives us an idea of our altcoins. We've been looking at this structure over here to break the first entry where you start looking to add to your altcoin positions, start building altcoin positions, was this blue box over here. We're looking for this blue box to see continuation, to break up and eventually get up to $9 trillion market cap for the altcoins. Remember, this is a representation of the altcoin market cap, right? So we have a target of the altcoins in a whole going up to almost $1 trillion, 929.88 to be a bit more exact. And this is trending fine. You can see it's going up, right? Up. So if this breaks structure, if we start seeing a toppy formation over here in the middle of the range, because we are sitting in the middle of the range, right? Top of the range is 929 trillion. Middle of the range over here is around 791, and bottom of the range around 674. At the moment, we're smacking up against the middle of the range. We haven't closed above it yet. Once we start living well above it, closing the weekly in 2 days and 18 hours, once we start closing candles well above it, we can look for the next leg in the altcoin market cap. So yeah, looking good in my opinion. Everything's looking good so far, right? Everything's going according to plan. So is there any reason so far to panic? No, things are going according to the plan that we laid out in 2022, guys. 2022 December. So yes, markets are pulling back. Yes, we would love for things to just go up only, but no, that's not healthy. No, we would not have been getting to our targets, our much higher targets on Bitcoin and much higher targets across the altcoins if the markets went up only. Remember, the reason you plan way ahead of time is because when you plan way ahead of time, your emotions are intact, right? You're not letting the market control your emotions. And then once the plan starts unfolding, you follow the plan that you set when your emotions were intact, not your emotions today. Okay, the emotions today will always look to trick you. Okay, so that's the altcoin market over here. Let's go look at one specific coin now that is a good representation of how altcoins are doing against Bitcoin, and that is the ETH BTC chart, right? Now, you guys can see that over here on ETH Bitcoin, we have essentially activated our fake out breakout play, which was very, very, very similar to our Bitcoin trade at 16,000 that we traded all the way to the top of the cloud, 16,000 to 42,000. The equilibrium play over here, something very, very similar. Of course, since this is an ETH BTC ratio, we're not going to see massive big moves, but still big enough moves for people who are converting their Bitcoin into Ethereum and then back into Bitcoin to trade the range, right? So I'll be looking for this to maybe get to around 0.075 to around 0.77 at the minimum if this breaks out of the wedge over here, right? So if you start seeing candles over here about 0.622, look for this to make its way somewhere towards the top of the range. We'll revisit this when we do start seeing the move play out. But for now, the only thing that we want to take from the chart is that, hey, all coins are now beginning to react. All coins are beginning to outperform Bitcoin, at least on the shorter to midterm time frames, right? We're seeing total 2 as well trend against USD. Remember, total 2 is our total market cap excluding Bitcoin. So all coins are still trending up. Okay, in general, all coins are still trending up against USD while Bitcoin is going sideways. So that's the comparison you want to make right over here. ETH BTC now reacting really well. This is one of those candles that if you're experienced in the market, if you're a veteran, you're like, ooh, this is that ETH BTC candle that starts the big move across the market, or at the very least for Ethereum, right? All right, so let's go ahead and wrap up with a couple of charts, couple of trade updates. This is a trade idea that we posted in the C program when we closed this candle right over here, where we're looking for the monthly to close above this horizontal at $2,050-ish, $2,000, let's say. Said, hey guys, let's wait for this, because once we do see that candle, I think a lot of people are going to be missing the big picture on Ethereum, and they're going to be focusing on coins that have already played out most of the move, right? Specifically Solana, and we were ahead of the game in when pertaining to Solana. In fact, if you go back down to Sol chart, you'll see that we were never tracking Sol USDT in specific. We were tracking Sol against ETH, because our trade was always, hey, let's build our Sol position over here using all our ETH. So take whatever ETH that you have from your portfolio, right, and allocate it towards Sol, because we think Sol is going to trend aggressively against ETH. And then you start taking profits against ETH. Basically, you start taking a bit of your Sol, convert it back into ETH as we start targeting these lower highs, because we had the thesis that these lower highs over here were going to be our resistance levels one by one until we get to the final consolidation level over here that broke down. And what do you know? Right over here, you guys can see that this level is what Sol topped out again. So over here, big rejection, and then down, 3 weeks of down, right? So that idea was months in advance, guys, months in advance. And we said we wanted to get ready for it, because psychologically really, really hard to convert everything in one go, right? So keep that USD position on ETH building, right, by getting your initial position over here on the monthly time frame. If you're playing the monthly time frame, it's a smaller position that keeps getting built into a bigger position as you take profits from your Sol trade into your ETH trade, and the ETH trade builds, right? And you can see that the market has been just going straight up over the past 3 months, looking really, really good. It's a monthly trade. You have to be patient on this one, right? Partial profits, we're going to be looking to take it around the $3,000 region to $3,500 region, but eventual target, again, not the final target, but higher target of around $4,800 to $5,000. I think that if this bull market continues, we could make our way to 7,500, maybe even 10,000. We'll take it one step at a time, right? But you want to be in the trade, the monthly trade. Again, at this juncture over here, should you be buying? Should you be entering over here? We're not here to talk about that in this particular video. We may address it in the future videos. APT, again, same story, right? We got in all the way at around the $6 or $7 region and sitting comfy. And I think this trade hasn't even played out yet, not in its entirety. Definitely not in its entirety. It's not had its impulsive move yet at all. Already smacking up against that $10 psychological level. We have like a mid-time frame trend line that you can draw out over here, that if we do break to the upside, I think this is going to run. But remember, our trade is on the 4-day time frame. We're trading it on the 4-day dynamic primarily. We're holding it really well. Wick off it, supporting. We want to see this start moving in the next week or two, maybe even sooner. Looking really, really good. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So what is my overall conclusion for the next month or two? Well, everything is still going according to plan. Everything is a-okay. Yes, we did lose trend on Bitcoin. we've gone over to the dashboard, you're going to see that we've lost 4-hour trend, 12-hour trend, daily trend. But the trends that matter to me are the 4-day and the weekly at the moment, right? According to where we are in the plan at the moment, okay? Because remember, all the way back in December 2022, right? It's been more than a year now. We looked for Bitcoin to make its way up from 16K to $42,000. And then we were looking to get cautious between the $42,000 region to $48,000 region, right? That was the plan. We didn't want Bitcoin to keep going. Well, it's doing what we want. So let it go sideways. Let it pull back down into the cloud too if it has to. As long as holding the 4-day and the weekly trend, I'm a-okay. I am fine. In fact, I'm not too concerned about the 2-day trend either. So if the 2-day trend is lost, I'm not, how about this? Let me put it this way. I'm not going to be looking for the 2-day trend to hold as support. Thereby, I'm not looking to bid that opportunity. If we do come down to the 4-day trend on the weekly trend support, that's where I'll be looking for opportunity on Bitcoin. For now, I'll be looking towards our altcoins, right? Let's go ahead and look at Ethereum. What's Ethereum saying on the dashboard? Long, 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 long across all time frames, right? A completely different story on ETH compared to Bitcoin. So yes, we were perma Bitcoin bulls between 16K and 42K. But now I'm going to be looking towards opportunity elsewhere because I follow the technical analysis. That's all that matters. We have bearish 4-day divergence on Bitcoin, right? Potential bearish 4-day divergence, while on Ethereum we have potential bullish divergence. So where should we be looking for opportunity? Ethereum, guys, all coins. Focuses on what the signs are showing us. And when Sol had this structure, when Sol had the same template, our focus was on Sol. But no, now it's going to be on Ethereum and other opportunities. So yeah, with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions, do let me know. Your comments go a long way. Some of you guys say the sweetest and nicest things, and they really, really motivate me to wake up the next day and do a video like this. And if you aren't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao.